Good morning, dear children. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good, children. So, today we are going to start lesson number 12, Rohini's Wisdom. So, let's begin the lesson. Long ago, in a large city, there lived a rich merchant who despised the poor. Now, here, children, despised means dislike or hate. Okay. Merchant is a person whose job is to buy or sell things or goods. Okay. Now, a long time ago, in a large city, means in a big city, there lived a rich merchant. And that merchant hated the poor people. He did not like poor people. Okay. One day the merchant said that he would pay 1,000 gold coins to anyone who could stand in the river for the whole night in winter. So one day what happened was that the merchant announced that if any person could stand in the river, okay, for how much time? For whole night. And in which season? In winter, in the cold. So he would pay that person 1,000 gold coins as reward or prize. Okay. Now, now there was a poor man who lived outside the city with his daughter Rohini. Okay. So now there was a poor man, and where did he live? He lived outside the city. With whom? With his daughter. And the name of his daughter was Rohini. Okay. When the poor man heard of the merchant's offer, he decided to accept it. Okay. He went to the merchant and told him so. Now, here what happened, children? As the man was very poor, so he decided to accept the offer of the merchant. So he directly went to the rich merchant and he told him that okay, I am ready for the offer. Means I am ready to stand in the river water for whole night in winter season. Okay. Now the merchant laughed at him and said he would never be able to do it. As the poor man had nothing to lose, he wanted to have a try. Now when the merchant heard that, he laughed. He laughed on that poor man and told that you are not able to complete this task. I know. Okay. But children, as you know, that man was very poor and he didn't want to lose that reward money, because if he would able to stand in the water for whole night, he will get 1,000 gold coins. So as you know, he was very poor, so he did not want to lose the reward money. So he accepted the offer and he wanted to give it a try. He wanted to try at least. Okay. So on a cold evening, the poor man went to the river and stood knee deep in the water. Okay. So that poor man went to the river and stood up in the river water. How much water was there? The water was till his knee, knee deep. Means the water was touching his knee. Okay. And the water was very cold because it was very winter season and it was very cold evening, so the water was also very cold. Okay, so he stood in knee deep water. Okay, he was cold from head to toe, but he wanted to win the 1,000 gold coins. He remained in the river till the sun rose. Now as you know, it was very cold out there, it was winter season. He was cold from head to toe, means he was feeling very cold. Okay, but he wanted to win the 1,000 gold coins. He wanted to win the reward. So he remained in the water till next morning. Okay. The poor man went running to the merchant's house to take the reward. The merchant was surprised to see him. Now, next morning, when the poor man has completed his task, he went to the merchant's house to take the reward, and the reward was for 1,000 gold coins. So he went to the merchant house to take the reward, and when the merchant saw him, he means to when the merchant saw the poor man, he was surprised. He was shocked. Why he was shocked or surprised? Because he knew that now I have to give him reward money. And let's read what happens next. But as he was a greedy man, he did not wish to part with so much money. How was it possible for you to stand knee deep in the river on such a cold night? He said. Now, as you know, the merchant was very greedy. Okay, he was very miser and greedy. So he was surprised at how this poor man was able to stand in knee deep water in this cold winter night. How it's possible? And actually the fact is that he did not want to give money to the poor man. Okay, so he start asking him questions. Okay, that it's not possible. I'm not going to give you any reward money. Okay, sir, a lamp was burning nearby. I looked at it and it gave me strength to stand to the cold, said the poor man. Now, next, what happened? The poor man told to the merchant that he got strength. From where he got strength to stand in the cold water? By looking on a lamp, okay, which was burning nearby. Hmm. The poor man told this to merchant. Ah, said the merchant, you have tricked me. You were kept warm by the light of the lamp. I will not give you the 1,000 gold coins. Now, here, children, tricked means cheated. Now, as you know, merchant was a greedy and miser person, isn't it? So he don't want to give that reward money to the poor man. So he started saying that you have cheated me. Huh? You have cheated me. You was kept warm by the light of the lamp. Means you were using the light of the lamp to keep your body warm. And you have cheated me, so I am not ready to give you any reward money. I will not give you 1,000 gold coins. Okay, who said this? Merchant said this to the the poor man. Okay. Now next, when the poor man heard this, he was very sad and returned to his little hut. Okay, his daughter Rohini was waiting for him. Now next, what happened? When the poor man heard what he heard, that he is not going to get any reward money. He is not going to get the gold coins. Besides, he stood for the whole night in the cold water in a winter season, but still he is not going to have any reward money. So he was very sad. Okay. Now the merchant didn't give him any reward money, so he went back to his little hut, and his daughter was waiting for him. And his daughter name was Rohini. So Rohini was waiting for him. When she heard how her father had been cheated by the greedy merchant, she decided to teach him a lesson. Now when Rohini came to know that what happened with his father, he she was very she got very angry. Okay, and she decided to teach the merchant a lesson. Okay. The next day, she went to the merchant's house and invited him to touch lunch. When he came, she served him a simple meal. Now, what happened next day? Rohini went to the merchant house and invited him for the lunch. After finishing his food, the the merchant asked Rohini for some water to drink. Now, children, next day what happened was Rohini went to the merchant's house and invited him for the lunch. Okay, and when the merchant came to his house, came to her house for on lunch, she served him a simple food. Okay. Now, after having the food, merchant asked her for some water. Okay. Now Rohini was very clever. She knew that this was her chance. So she pointed to a jug of water and said, there is the water. You can have water by looking at it. Now what happened? As Rohini wanted to teach that merchant a lesson. Okay, Rohini is a clever girl and she wanted to teach the merchant a lesson. So what she done? She did. She pointed towards a jug of water and said to the merchant that you can have water by looking at it only. Okay, now what happened next? The merchant was upset and said, how do you expect me to get water by just looking at it? Now, here, children, upset means disturbed or sad. Okay, and expect means believe that something will happen. Okay, now the merchant was very upset. He was sad. Why he was sad? Because Rohini told him to have water by looking at it only. Okay, so the merchant told Rohini that how do you expect me to get water by just looking on at it? Okay, in the same way you expected a man standing in a cold water to warm himself by just looking at the lamp, Rohini said quickly. So as you know, Rohini was a clever girl. She was very smart. So that girl said quickly to the merchant that in the same way as he had expected a man who man? His father, her father, who was standing in the cold water to warm himself by just looking at the lamp. Okay. The merchant realized how unfair he had been. Unfair means not right. Okay. He felt quite ashamed of himself. He knew the poor man deserved the reward. Okay. Now, next what happened? Now, the merchant realized that he was not right. So, he felt very ashamed of himself because he was a rich person. He was able to give money to the that poor man, but he cheated that poor man. Now, he felt so much ashamed of himself only. Okay, because he knew that poor man deserved the reward. Okay. So he asked Rohini and her father to come to his house. He gave them the 1,000 pieces of gold. They took the money home and lived in comfort. Now the merchant called Rohini and her father to his house and gave them reward money, means the 1,000 gold coins. Okay. Then afterwards, what happened? They means both Rohini and her father took the money and they lived a comfortable, happy life thereafter. Okay. Now, children, I think you have understood the lesson. If you have any doubt, you can WhatsApp and ask me. Okay. Thank you.